Water Street is just the same. Ah, honey, come back to me. You see, it's lonely and gray in the city. But all the sun will surely rise, warm my clothes and warm your eyes. From the treacherous night, how the moon was red, and dangerous. Come back here. Shikadoo, shikadoo, Mike's Music Method. Come on in, everybody. Today we're doing another Gregory Alan Isakov song. Gregory Isakov, Alan, the third, the second, Gregory Alan. I've already done 3 a.m. Great song. Today we are doing The Moon Was Red and Dangerous. This song was requested by Gabriel Brochu. Gabriel, thank you so much. You guys can all sponsor a song. Go to mikesmusicmethod.com if you're into it. With this song here today, what a cool tune. I didn't really know it. I've been listening to it a lot. Obviously tabbed the whole thing out for you guys. This is a great song. There is a lot happening. The cool thing about Gregory is he's really trusting his intuition on this, and almost every stanza there's different picking and different little melodic elements happening. So the tab is long, but just know timestamps down below are your best friend. So let me explain what we're doing here at Mike's Music Method. I tab this out slowly, carefully. I bring the most accurate tab. I even include Gregory's mistakes. I think there's a couple in there. But I got the whole tab for you. Download it now, free at mikesmusicmethod.com. It'll also be up on the screen. But first, we're going to run through every measure of this song, leaving nothing unturned, no stone unturned. Then after that, very important, we're going to talk about singing and playing it together. And in this song in particular, that doesn't involve learning all the tab. So we'll talk more about that later. We're learning the tab to become a better guitarist. When it comes to learning the song, you gotta lay off a little bit and trust your intuition. So in other words, I'll say this a lot in the video, but you'll see parts that are different even though the chords are the same. Over time, you're just gonna learn to do it one particular way. So when you cover the song, you'll do it in that one particular way. I'm saying all this because I don't want you to get overwhelmed by how long this tab is. This guy can really play. He knows all these different little, he's winging it, in other words. He knows what sounds cool and he's changing it up a little bit every time. Don't worry about all those details. I'm gonna show them to you first so you become a better guitarist, but then you let go of them and you just follow the chords. And that's timestamp below. That's called singing and playing together, and we'll do that later. Then at the very end of the video, we will do slow run-throughs where I break it up into sections and we play them slow together along with the tab. And that's it. So welcome. I'm going to be your guitar teacher here for the next, 30, 45 minutes. This is Mike's Music Method. It's all based on the value for value model. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please consider giving some support. But let's do it. Gregory Alan Isakov. Thank you, Gabriel. The moon was red and dangerous. Let's do this. Measure 1. This is all based on a C chord, but look how he already starts dancing around like a little ballerina. A little ballerino. A few ways to handle this. So we're doing a C chord. We're always hitting the second string with our pointer finger. So we're going to do a lot of back and forth. And it's going to be thumb, and then the pointer finger is always doing the second string. But check out how he moves the thumb around already. We got 5th string, 2nd. Again, normal C chord. Then I hit the 3rd string with my thumb. Go right back to the 2nd. So the strings are 5, 2, 3, 2. And it's thumb, pointer, pointer. Now this next note here is the 3rd fret on the D string. Now you can put your pinky down to play that, or you can move your pointer finger down to do it. I'm not decided how I would want to tell you to do that yet. I actually probably put the pinky down, because if you do the pinky there, you got the 3rd fret on the 4th string, right back to the pointer finger again. Then we lift that pinky, 2nd fret on that D string, back to the pointer. So that melody with the thumb is 5th, third, fourth string with the pinky down, fourth string again, and we lift it. Bum, ba, dum, dum, 5, 3, 4, 4. Third fret open, third, second, and every in between is the pointer finger hammering away on that second string. And if you're not used to this idea, holy cow, is it beautiful? And there's a lot you can be doing with this idea. So it's kind of Travis picking, but the thumb isn't a consistent back and forth on two strings. And the way I frame this is like the melody is in the bass, where it's a consistent ding, ding, ding up on top. So it's really quite lovely, and he plays with this the entire song. Measure 2, the bass is 5, 4, 3, 3. So now he's just changing the thumb. We don't need any left hand color. And in between all of those is again the pointer finger always hitting the second string. So 5th, 4th, 3rd, 5, 4, 3, 3. Measure 3, we go back to measure 1. Pinky down, lift the pinky. Then here, 4 is kind of similar to 2, but it's 5, 4, 3, back to 4. Practice this slow. I would set a metronome and really just play around with all the colors with your thumb going all over the place. Maybe you even like play through the whole major scale as high as you can do it. And just play around with that concept until you feel really loose with it. And until you feel loose with it, there's just a lot of that going on in the song. So zone out, have fun with it, explore that whole concept before trying to get all the nitty-gritty in here. Measure 5, I love this. I forget what song I wrote. I think I wrote a song called Charlotte of the Web, where I explore this idea. Check out all this cool work on the E minor. We're moving all over the place because our pointer finger is always hitting open on the second string, and our thumb is exploring all the possibilities on that E minor chord. So we're starting slow. We're doing 6, and then second string is open. Then all I'm doing here, I know it's an E minor chord, but I'm keeping my hands loose so I can move them around. So I have 6, open on the second string, then I'm doing the second fret on the fourth string. Pointer goes back to the second. So 6, 4, then I'm going to slide that note on the D string from 2 to 4. Then he goes up to the 5th fret on that string. So we have open on the second fret, we slide it, 5th fret. Let's try that together. 3, 4, 6 string, then the 4th, then slide the 4th, and the 5th fret. Open, 2 to 4, 5. Next measure we descend. He goes back to 4. We slide from 4 to 2. Then we do low 6, back to 4. So 3, 4, it's 4, slide it, 6, back to the 4th string. And I'm keeping that second fret down because it's 4th fret, 4 to 2. I keep it held, 6th string, back to the 4th. So 4, 4, 2, open, 2, 4, 4, 2, open, 2. Let's try those two together. 3, 4. A little slower. 3, 4. And I'll make the note now, a lot of times in the song he isn't doing the slide, he's just moving up to him. But one thing I would avoid is doing one finger and getting that scratchiness. So if you're not gonna slide, I would use different fingers. Maybe you don't have to use the pinky, but definitely use that ring finger there and then move it up. You're gonna avoid a lot of that scrapey, just using one finger. You get the idea. 7 and 8, he does a little different, but it's the same idea. Open, then 2nd fret D string, slide it up again. 5th fret. Here it's different. We have 4, slide 4 to 2, then open on that D string. Then he does open on that A string. So it's 4, 4 to 2, open on the D, then open on the A. So 3, 4. Measure 9. This song beautifully uses this inversion. It's an F chord, but with a C in the bass. And it has a different sound than if you put that F in the bass as the lowest note. It sounds like happy, but when you put the C in the bass, it maintains this more kind of pensive, uncertain sound, and it is awesome. So let's do measure 9 here. I'm doing it like this. I got nothing on the first string, then I have the first fret, so nothing at all. First fret, second, third with my pinky, then third with my ring. So I'm doing the inner 4 strings of that F chord. You don't have to bar anything. It's a great little shape to get used to. And we're gonna be, again, everything's going back to that second string. We have the 5th, the thumb's doing 5th string, 4th, 3rd, then 3rd again, but I'm gonna lift that middle finger so it sounds open. 5, 4, 3rd string open, and always going in between with my pointer finger on the 2nd string. So that makes it an F sus 2 when I lift that middle finger. Measure 10, he just bangs on the 4th string for a while. 4th, 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 then back to open on the 3rd. 4, 4, 4, 3 is open. So I'm actually going to lift that finger at the end of measure 9 and keep it there. So it looks like this. 3, 4. Lift it. 4, 4, 4, 3. Measure 11, we go to a C chord. And here it gives it a little brush in between, but same concept. I'm going to do 5, pointer finger, 4th string, pointer finger, brush, pointer finger, 4th string, pointer. So 5, 4, brush, 4, 5, 4, brush, 4. That was my buddy Rhino calling me. I'll call him back later. And you can brush one of 2 ways. Like I like to just do a down stroke with my pointer finger, but you could also brush down with your thumb. It's whatever you find easier. I like using my pointer. I find it up to speed. It's just a bit more loose. So one more time, 3, 4, 5, 4, brush, pointer, 4. Then measure 12 is really easy, just 5, 4, 3, 4. If you're nerding out on the recording, you'll notice he kind of flubs that last note and it's like farted out. But I think his intention was to hit the 4th string there. 5, 4, 3, 4. Measure 13, we go to a G chord, and we're going to use our ring finger. Really important that we're only going to be using our ring finger, and that's it for now, because we need all these other fingers to be doing some nice dancing. So right at the beginning, you'll notice that his pinky's got to go on the 3rd fret of the D string. Then our middle finger needs to go on the 2nd fret. Then we lift it open, and I love this kind of G6, G7. Dylan does it a lot, Paul Simon, Tom Waits. It's a great little, Elizabeth Cotten does it in Freight Train. It's a great way to play your G7. Put your F here, 3rd fret, D string, instead of your F here on the 1st fret of the E string. So again, we're going to be dancing that whole time between thumb and pointer finger on the open 2nd string. But we got thumb on 6, then we do the D string, but that 3rd fret is down there. Back to open, then I move the pinky, goes to middle finger on the D string, the 4th string. Then I lift it open. So the thumb is at 3rd fret, 3rd, 2nd, open, 6th string, 4th, 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 and then all together 3, 4. Then in measure 14, he does put his middle finger down like a normal G on the 2nd fret of the A string there, and he hits that one. 5th string, 4th string, 6, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4. Then measure 15 is the same as 13. 6, 4, 4, 4. Then we go back, put that middle finger down there again. 5th string, 4th, 5th string. Let's do this one slow, actually. It's a little different. 16 is different. He does 5, 4, 5, oddly enough, he hits open on the A string. He lifts up the chord, and he's slowing that part down, so he's giving some breathing room there. And then he starts singing the verse. Weird that he hits the open A, but that's what he does. There's a lot of weird things about this song. All right. The verse starts here in 17, and we'll talk about singing later, and as I mentioned at the beginning, at least I hope to remember to say it when I say it. But man, look at the tab and learn some cool tricks. But when you go to cover this song, don't look at the tab. He's doing way too much nuance, and you don't want to memorize all these little weird things he's doing. Obviously, Gregory's a good player, and he can play the song in many different ways, and he's definitely not always playing it the same way twice, for sure. Because even this is a studio version, and even the studio version sounds super loose, like he's kind of like winging a few different transitions and stuff. So study the tab to learn from the greats and to learn some new tricks. But when it comes to covering it, you gotta let go of the specifics and just follow the chord chart and what your fingers have learned. And there's a stink bug right on the edge of my camera. Is he gonna crawl into frame? Oh, it'd be hilarious. Come on, stink bug. Go up there, do it. Let's see you get in there. Oh, cool. Come on, stink bug. Do I have a pencil? Climb up there, dude. Climb up. I don't want to hurt him. Oh, almost hurt him. We don't want to hurt him. So let's start the verse here. Measure 17. We're back on a C chord, and he's going to meander through all sorts of weird stuff with his thumb. I wouldn't do this, right? When I cover it, I'm not going to do this. I'll show you what he does so you can learn, but then you got to just let it go and trust your instinct. So we'll kind of breeze through this quick. 17, he's doing 5, 3, 3, 5. It's all on a C chord, right? Weird. 5, 3, 3, 5. But then the next measure, he's doing 4, 5, 4, 4. And there's no way he's doing that the same way twice, right? He's just letting his thumb dance around. He's focusing 90% of his brain power is on how he's singing it and the lyrics, and that's what everyone's listening to. Even on the recording, I can't guarantee you that's what he played. It's buried underneath his singing voice, so don't obsess on it. You know, obsess is a way to practice the guitar, but when it comes to performing it, please do not do it this way. So one more time, we'll do those two. 5, 3, 3, 5, 4, 5, 4, 4. He colors it even more here in 19 because he does 5. Then when he goes to 4, he's putting the pinky down. Then he does open on 3, back to 4, but he lifts the pinky. So you got 3rd fret, open, 2nd, 5, put the pinky down, 4, 3, back to 4, but lift the pinky. Really pretty, that sus4 chord in there with that pinky down. Then he does it different yet again in measure 20, which is 5, 4, 3, 4. And one of the weird moments where he hits the top E string instead of the 2nd. Was it a mistake? It doesn't really matter. It sounds cool. Again, he's not playing it the same every time. 5, 4, 3, 4. And I'm hitting the top E string at the end. Then we go to an E minor. Same thing here. Learn from the tab, but don't obsess on it because he plays it a little different every single verse. This first time he's doing 6, 4, 4, 4. Again, I'm always doing that pointer finger on the 2nd string. 6, 4, 4, 4. Then in 22, 6, 4, 6, 4. And you'll notice here, I am not hearing an open on the and of beat 3. I'm hearing like 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. Again, I'll keep saying this, but when I cover the song, I wouldn't do that. It's like requires way too much brain power for not much different sound. 6, 4, 6, 4. But you can put the and in between if you want. 6, 4, 6, 4. Way easier on the brain, especially if you're going to try and sing this song. Let's keep going here. He walks up, 2nd fret on the 4th string. He slides it 2 to 4, 5, back to 4. 2, 2 to 4, 5, 4. Then a measure 24, 2, 2, open. Then the last time he does open, but then the pointer does open on the 3rd string instead of the 2nd. So it's 2, open, 2, open, 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 then open on the 3rd string with the pointer. 3, 4. Measure 25 is back to the F chord with the C in the bass. And here, he breaks the kind of mold of what he's been doing the entire song in the middle of the verse, which is weird. But now he kind of Travis picks it, where he's doing thumb on 5, middle finger on the 2nd string. Or I guess you could still do pointer, but I would do middle. And then thumb on 4, and the pointer finger is on the 3rd string. So we have like what we call an outside-inside pattern. It's 5th string 2nd, 4th string 3rd. And again, you could do that all with your pointer finger. A lot of guys do that. Gregory might be. Or I'm doing thumb, pointer, and moving the pointer finger from the 2nd to the 3rd string. Or you can just do middle finger on that 2nd string, pointer on the 3rd. Either way, we now have an alternating bass. 5, 2, 4, 3, 5, 2, 4, 3. And he does that for 2 measures and 26 as well. Then here, he kind of hits the C chord, but then continues the pattern. So I'm doing a heavy thumb there where I'm just brushing a few of them. Then my middle finger hits the 2nd string, thumb to 4, pointer to the 3rd. So it continues that pattern as usual that we just had, but on a C chord, with the exception being the brush at the beginning. And he does it again. Takes us all the way to measure 29 here. It's on a G chord. And again, now we're back to, I don't know, it's still kind of Travis pick, but it's all on the 2nd string. So 6, 2, 4, 2, 6, 2, 4, 2. Then 30, we've seen we have that descending thing again. 6, 2, 4th string is on the 3rd fret. Not going to talk you through that again. Measure 31, we put that middle finger down on the 2nd fret. 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4. And then the last one is open on the 3rd string instead of the 2nd. All right, now there could be a simple repeat sign, 17 to 32 repeats. But Gregory is awesome, and this whole 2nd verse has quite a different feel to it. Now, I'll say this again, I want to make it really clear, because I know a lot of my students miss this, so I don't want you to miss this too. We are learning this note for note so you can become a better guitarist. You can learn what good guitarists are doing. You're learning new tricks. You're incorporating them into your repertoire, hopefully, creating little study pieces. I mentioned that in other videos, how you take a cool little concept, you make it your own by putting it to different chords and slightly changing the idea and playing with it so that you feel like you own it. So do that. But then when it comes to covering this song, holy cow, please do not obsess about all of these little nuances. You're going to want to find the way that's easy for you, the way you like, the way that comes natural to your instincts, and do that. So we will run through some variation here, but again, when it comes to covering the song, you got to let go of that. Right now, we're trying to learn, hyper-focus, get good, but when it comes to playing the song, trust your intuition, and later on, we'll play with the chord chart. But I can't stress that enough, all right? But onward, let's keep going. So 33, again, we run through the same chords that we saw in 17, so it's back to the C, and here we're Travis picking it. So he's doing 5th, 2nd, 4th, 3rd, thumb, middle, thumb, pointer. He does that for 2 measures, and then he varies it up again in a different way, where it's 5, and our pinky's down on that 4th string, 3rd, 3rd. So 5, 4, 3, 3, and we got the 3rd fret, right? That C sus4 chord, put it down. Then the next measure, 36, we do 5th, 4th, 5th, open. And it's, sorry, the pinky comes up at the beginning of that measure. So we got the 2nd fret there on the 4th string, 5th, 4th, then the 3rd. Oh, and sorry, the very last note we're actually lifting for it to be open. So one more time, 3, 4, 4th, 5th, 4th, double opens. Measure 37, got that E minor, but with some new variation. Right off the bat, we're doing 6, 2, 4, and then right back to 2. So 6, 2, 4, 2. But then here at the end, he does 6, 2, 4, 3. So I'm doing thumb, middle, thumb, middle, thumb, middle, thumb, pointer. Then in 38, he does that ending one again and again. Thumb, middle, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle, thumb, pointer. Different in 39, he does the walk up. Here he's not sliding, he's just got the 6th string, 4th, move it up to the 4th fret on that string, then the 5th, back to the 4th, 2nd, open, I'm not going to play all these too many times, so pause the video to get them, but I know this is all similar stuff. Then in measure 41, I think we're about 39 seconds into the song here. We go back to that F with the C in the bass, that cool color, and it's 5, 2, 4, 3. Travis picked. Does that 4 times. Then back to the C chord here in 43. And here he ends up putting the G in the bass, so it's a C/G chord. So I call it big C. What I'm doing is I've got my normal C, taking this ring finger, moving it up a string, then my pinky is taking its place. So now I can play all 6 strings. And what he's doing here in 43 is he's strumming, and then immediately hitting the pointer finger on the 2nd string. And then we continue with Travis picking after that, just thumb on 4, pointer on 3. So I guess you could do that with your middle at the beginning. Strum and then hit your middle on the 2nd string, because then he's going to do thumb on 4, pointer on 3, thumb on 6, middle on 2, 4. Right, you get the idea. So if we ignore the opening strum, it's just 6, 2, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3. Think of the measure that way. But the very beginning one, right, we have that strum at the beginning. Then it continues in 44 the same way. 6, 2, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3. 45 here is very goofy. Boom! As I mentioned before, guys, Mike's music method is based on the value for value model. That simply means that I need support. I'm putting a lot of time and energy into this, and the value for value works by you giving some of your time and energy back. If you go to mikesmusicmethod.com, under that donate tab, there's a bunch of easy, convenient ways for you to become a monthly supporter or do single time donations in all sorts of currencies, different apps, Bitcoin, whatever works for you. But it's a value for value. Please support what you want to see more of in the world. Keep it short and sweet. Also, I have 2 ebooks, a guitar journeyman course, all this extra goodies on my website if you want to snag that stuff. Otherwise, value for value. I'm a real guy here, putting in a lot of work. Please consider supporting. Make note in measure 45, I would not play it this way, right? I pride myself in giving you exactly what Gregory's doing, but man, his playing is so loose that in one of these measures here, he sneaks in an extra beat. So I'm thinking measure 45 is in like 5/4 time. Now, of course, Gregory isn't thinking like a prog rock player or math metal player, right? He's just kind of like flowing, and you can tell there's a lot of moments where he's slowing down, and you don't know, it's like, oh, is that the same beat as a fermata? That means it's held a little longer, or is he treating it like the counts a little longer? This is what's so great about this style of playing. It's really loose, really organic, really free. So I'm going to show you how he does it in the song, but I would not recommend doing it this way because there's 5 beats. It's a measure of 5/4 instead of 4/4, where he starts on, he's doing open on 4th to 2nd. So it's a G chord. I just got that finger down. He's doing 4, 2, then 6, 3, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 2. So in other words, your thumb's doing 4, 6, 4, 4, 4. But he's also alternating the way he's playing I and M. Now, when I'm going to cover this song, if I were to cover it and get good at it, clearly I would just do this as a measure of 4/4. So in other words, I would ignore those first 2 notes and just start on that low G, which is typically what we're used to hearing, right? 6, 3, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 2. So I'd ignore the first 2 notes. But because he's loose and he's like letting it be a little free and suspenseful, he's got that weird feel there. So the whole measure as written, really slow, 3, 4, thumb, middle, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle. So I'm always alternating middle to pointer with the goofy bass line. 4th, 6, 4th, 4th, 4th. Measure 46, back to the walk we've seen before. And he's doing 6, 3, my pinky goes down, 4th, 2, seen that trick before. Same thing here in 47. We go back to that G with the 2nd fret down there. And the strings are 5, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 4, 2. He keeps it going. But then he kind of does more traditional Travis picking here. 5, 2, 4, 3, 5, 2, 4, 3. I'll say it 100 times this tab. do not, like, you practice this to learn it and become a better guitarist, but do not play it this way if you're attempting to learn the song. If you're attempting to learn the song, trust your instinct. But let's keep going here. In 49, another weird one where he hits this, like, kind of A, open A before he goes into the F chord. Another moment where you're going to have to feel that rhythm out yourself and judge. To me, that's like a little unexpected open A in there. But he's got that open A, then he's hitting an F chord. I'm doing the thumb over the top here. It's not an F with the C in the bass. You do hear that low F. If you want to play it as a bar chord, that's totally fine and acceptable in this song. There's no weird trick, I don't think, where you have to do it this way to get a finger up or something. So normal bar chord is fine. And what we have here, we have that open A, then he strums the chord. So that's beats 1 and 2, 1, 2, and then we have that Travis picking again. 6, 2, 4, 3, thumb, middle, thumb, pointer. And he does that for the next measure as well, 2 times. So 49 and 50, 2, 3, A, F, da, 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 bum, 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 bum. Back to a C chord, and it's that beautiful movement again. 5th string, 4th, put the pinky down on the 4th, open on the 3rd. Back to the 4th string, but lift the pinky. 4th string, 4th string, 5th. And then here, what's kind of weird, he does 4, 4, 5. Then he lifts both of them, and he does 4, 3, both his opens. Let's keep going. 53, back to an F chord. And here, because he's coming in on beat 2 with the Travis picking, we have strum, and think of that as like your low note, but with a strum. Then we do 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3. Strum, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3. Thumb, thumb, and thumb, and thumb, and. And he does that same thing twice. That was 53 and 54. Measure 55, back to the C chord with the G and the bass. And here, when I'm finger picking, I don't always put my pinky down to cover the spot. You know, if I'm not hitting that A string, I don't need the pinky there. It's up to you. When I strum it, though, if I don't have the pinky, my ring finger is gently, like, muting the A string. So I can just strum through it there. And it's the same idea that we just did on the F. Strum, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3. Except right there on the 4th beat, he's lifting the middle finger. So strum, lifted, strum, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle, lift it, thumb, pointer. And then he goes to a normal G here in 56. It's just 6, 2, 4, 3, same pattern. And again, you could call it a day and just follow the chords. I'll go through the variation real quickly here in 57. Strum, 2, 3, and 4, and. So there is no beat to it all. He's letting the F ring longer than what he was doing before. So we got this strum, hold it, 6, 2, 4, 3. And then he continues that 6, 2, 4, 3. He's lifting it up there in 58 at the end. So those together, 3, 4, strum, hold, 6, 2, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3. Lift it. Then back to the C/G, strum, 4, 2, 6, 3. Strum, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3. Lift it at the end there. Really similar stuff. We're in 61. Put it back down. And here he moves it up, which is really cool. So we've got the middle finger goes back down. So 6, 2, put that middle finger back down. 4, 3, 6, 2, put the pinky down in the 3rd fret of that D string. Then he lifts it right back up. This part's really, really goofy, and again, not the way I would play it. So 61, let's do slow. 3, 4. Then we lift the pinky, go back to the 2nd fret for measure 62, and he does 4th string, then all the way to the 1st. Then he lifts those 2 fingers and does open, open on 4th and 3rd. So we got 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 1. Then we lift it, 4, 3. Then our pointer finger goes down, and we do 6, 2. Then he hits open on the A string. Then open on the G string. So really goofy measure, 62 there. 3, 4. And again, if you want to learn it. But, oh man, in the grand scheme of playing the entire song, you can't sweat about these weird little things. To Gregory, that maybe came easy, or maybe he had a really rough idea of some notes that he wanted in there. Because I don't even know how he's like framing this in his mind. I mean, he's just playing around with a G chord, and it often has that 11, right? That note C in there. He's got the G/C. Sometimes he lifts that finger, sometimes he lifts both. He's just dancing his fingers around. I think he just knows what frets work and what strings work, and he's just like letting his fingers be really loose and not thinking too much about it, hoping that it sounds cool. And it does, because he practices a lot of guitar. So now we're in 63, and it's that same kind of idea, just that G with the first finger on first fret there on the second string, the C. And then he finishes it pretty easy, just 6, 2, 4, 3, Travis picked. Cool, make a note here, we're not going to the coda now, but when we get all the way through the verse chorus, we jump back to a verse, and then here is the coda where we would jump to the end the second time through. We don't do it now, we keep going. Hope everyone's doing well. Take a little break, review what we've done, and stand up and stretch. Otherwise, let's keep going here. All right, measure 65. We're about 1 minute and 46 seconds in the song if you want to kind of make sure you're grounding yourself here. Got an F chord again. Another weird moment where he plays the chord and he's just noodling with what he's playing rhythmically and what strings. Here we have like 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and so he's coming in on the and beat. Strum to second, strum, second, third, second, fourth, third. And you can play that with whatever fingers you want. I'm doing that there. I'm doing middle, pointer, middle, thumb, pointer. But you could do like pointer, thumb, pointer, thumb. Then he just continues with Travis picking 6, 2, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, lift it for 3. Back to the C. Same cool little variation, 5, 3, 4th string with your pinky down, and lift the pinky. 5, 4, 3, 4. 69, same walk. But before, I don't think he had that first fret down, did he? Now instead of doing it open, he's keeping that first fret down on the first fret B string, right, to make the note C. Same descending idea though. Seen those concepts before. Then we got a new chord here. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, we get an A minor. Colors it really pretty. Sounds really hollow to me. Hollow and empty. It's quite beautiful. So again, it's kind of a back and forth idea where my pointer finger is always hitting that second string. But the first one is a strum, and then immediately to the pointer on the second string. Then I do the 4th string, the 3rd. I lift the ring finger and do the 3rd string open. So strum, 4th, 3rd, lift it, 3rd. Next measure is back to the 4th. Then lift the middle finger now to do the 4th string open. Then what I just lifted is going to go to the 2nd fret of the 5th string. Then open again on the 4th. So let's do those 2 measures nice and slow. 3, 4, strum, 4th, 3rd, lift it to the 4th string, lift that finger, move it to the 5th string, open on the 4th. Really cool. 73, C chord with a G in the bass, and it's 6, 4, 4, 4, 6, 4, 4, 4. Then he does normal C, 5, 4, 3. Then he does open on the 5th string, a little unexpected. 5, 4, 3, open. And then he goes to the E minor, and we've seen all this before, I think. Maybe a little different in there, but same concept. F with the C in the bass. I love that. 5, 4, 3, and 3rd string open. Back to the C. Put the pinky down, lift it. Seen all these tricks before, 79. Here we have this wrong note. I don't think he intended to play this note. It's a really strange mistake, and I think his intention was to do that same descending trick on the 4th string, but his pinky goes to the 3rd string, and he plays the 3rd string. That's what's strange about it. You think maybe one hand would do it wrong, but the fact that both do it wrong, a really haunting note, and the only time you hear it. So comment below, give me your opinion on measure 79, mistake or intentional. I always love what people think about this stuff. I'm like 90% certain it was a mistake, but what a strange mistake to make. But here's a mistake. I'll teach you the mistake that he played. If it is a mistake, it's 6-2, and it's that G with the 1st finger down. 6, 2, 4 is open, 2. Then the pinky's down on that 3rd fret of the 3rd string. Then it goes back to 2, then he does open on the D string. It sounds quite dissonant and beautiful on its own, but the fact that it just happens once and he doesn't return to it, so weird, doesn't fit the flavor of the song at all. But then he catches it like he normally does, and he does correct it, and then his pinky goes on the 4th string like usual for the next measure. 3, 2, open, 2nd fret on the 5th string, and then to a G with the 1st finger still pinned down. 6, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4. Whoo! Handshake. As I said in the beginning, there are slow run-throughs at the end. So now, if you haven't already, definitely stop now. Go through the different sections doing slow run-throughs and make sure you can play these. And maybe you're not there yet, right? The way I tell people to practice is like, work on one measure at a time, then 2, then 3, then 4. Do not rush through it. Maybe, measure 3 takes you 5 days in and of itself because you really want to get awesome at it. I'm picking a measure at random. I don't know that measure 3 is hard. But you know what I mean? We don't learn in a linear fashion, and you shouldn't, right? It's more productive to really grind out what you're stuck on. That's called deliberate practice, right? Find the parts that are troublesome and grind away at those. But do slow run-throughs at the end of the video, then you can come back here, learn the next part. Oh, take a little coffee break, ladies and gentlemen. We are on to the coda. You're doing awesome. Cheers. Got John Hurt back here. I'm super excited to say that. Anders, the guy who made that beautiful piece of original artwork, is making me more. We've got an agreement. I'm going to hammer out some tutorials for him, and he's going to get me all my favorites. So when I do a Dylan tutorial, I'm going to have to change it out, get Bob Dylan back there, and we'll see over time. Maybe the mainstays. Anders will get a drawing of all of them. Unbelievable talent. He's Anders Fernbach. Just check him out on Instagram. Really phenomenal artist. All right, so you got to measure 82, and I usually write it down in the tab, right? I write return to verse, that's measure 17 to 64, and then you'll go to the coda. But you'll notice a lot of people ask, what do these symbols mean? Look them up, but on the tab it says DS al coda. DS means to the segno. The segno is that funny symbol. So in other words, when we get there, it says DS, so that means go to the segno. So you gotta look for the segno, and if you got your free tab at mikesmusicmethod.com, that's measure 17. That's that funny little design that's there. So you'd play all the way, you'd go to the segno, to the coda. So that means I go 17 and I keep playing until what I noted before, it says to coda, and that's in measure 64. So when I get to measure 64, I don't continue, but instead I jump to the coda. So I time warp for measure 64 and pop out in measure 84. And this is the end of the song, Nobody Else. And we got an A minor. It's going to look a little different. I think pretty similar to before, but again, just more weird motion here. So it's that Travis picked idea of strum, middle, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle, thumb, pointer. I can't think. Right, it's that idea, which we talked about a bunch. Except the first one's a strum, middle, thumb, pointer. But we have all this color. So it starts normal, but not really, because that one needs to be open. So we got an A minor, but then he makes it an A minor 7 by doing open on the 3rd string, and then it finishes the same way, all is an A minor 7. So strum, middle, thumb, lift the finger there for the pointer finger, and then the same thing again. Measure 85, Starts the same way, 5th, 2nd, 4th, 3rd, all on like that A minor 7 sound with that ring finger up. But then I'm going to move my middle finger to now do the 2nd fret on the 5th string. And then I finish it as normal. Then I go to a C with the G in the bass. Same picking there, 6, 2, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3. We do that twice. Then we have an F, and we hold it for a whole beat before doing 6, 2, 4, 3. So I'm on measure 88, hold, 6, 2, 4, 3. 89 continues, 6, 2, 4, but lift it open. Then when we start it again here, it's 6, 2, but then they're both open. I think he's lifting the chord there. So 3, 4, lift the middle finger only. Then they're both open. Then we go to a C/G again, 6, 2, 4, 3. But then I'm going to either have my pinky down or I'm going to move that ring finger down to the 5th string. And then again, they're both open at the end. So 3, 4, 6 string, 5th, lift it. Then to a G chord with that first finger down on C there. And it's 6, 2, 4, 3, 5, 2, 4, 3. Right now it gets, if that's not weird enough, it gets a little weirder here. So let's keep going and measure 92. Here he keeps it in A minor, and the strum is just one beat. There's no and here, it's just 1. Then it's the thumb on the 4th string. So strum, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle, thumb, pointer. Strum, 4, 3, 5, 2, 4, 3. And check out 93, a little bit goofy. Start on an A minor, his thumb is hitting the 4th string, then you go to the middle on the 2nd, then our thumb does the 3rd string, but then we lift that note and we play the same string again with our pointer finger. So he's keeping the right hand pattern, which is like thumb, pointer, so we got to do that on the same string, and that might feel kind of weird to you if you're not used to it, so just practice that where it's thumb, pointer, and I'm just doing 2-0, 2-0. Probably easy enough alone, but weird when you're... So it's still that same pattern, but his thumb and pointer finger collide. Doc Watson actually does this a lot. It's very, very cool. We've got 4, 2, 3rd with the thumb. I lift it and do that 3rd string with the pointer. So that might be awkward, spend some time there. Then the measure ends doing 5 with the thumb. Middle finger, then I lift the other finger and it's open with thumb pointer. So the ending's easy. It's just normal Travis picking. Strings are 5, 2, 4, 3, thumb, middle, thumb, pointer. Then back to an F. And he starts this the same way in 94. Got the strum, thumb, pointer, both on the 3rd string, thumb, pointer. Then he does 6, 2, thumb goes all the way to 3, 2. So strum, da, da, 6, 2, 3, 2. Next measure, also really weird. Same concept. My thumb starts on the 4th string, 4, 2. Then my thumb does the 3rd string, followed by my pointer finger on the 3rd string. So 4, 2, 3, 3. Thumb, middle, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle, thumb, pointer. Second half of the measure is the 4th string, the 2nd. And then I'm going to lift and do thumb pointer, open on the 4th, open on the 3rd. The whole measure, 3, 4. Then to the G with the 1st finger down. I have even a little more movement. And it's 6, 2, 4, 3. And I'm putting my pinky down and doing the thumb on that string again. Thumb on the 4th, back to the 2nd, lift that pinky, thumb on the 4th, and then I do pointer, open on the 3rd. So the strings, 6, 2, 4, 3, 4, 2, 4, 3. And the fingers are thumb, middle, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle, thumb, pointer. That one's a little goofy too. I take it slow. Almost done. 97. real easy. 6, 2, 4, 3. I'm at G with the C down. Then 98. 6, 2, 4, 2. Then I put the pinky down. 4th again. 2. Lift it up. 4th again. 6, 4. Put it down. 4, 4. 6, 4. Put it down. Lift it. And then the ritardando at the end of the song here. He's hammering open to 2 on the 4th string, then hitting the 2nd with his pointer. Then he does open on the 4th string, back to the 2nd. 2nd fret on the A string, back to the open D string, and he strums the chord. So 3, 4. Singing and playing. Let's do this. So I know I said this a lot during the video. I'm going to say it yet again. It's a little bit backwards. You think the reason I'm giving you this very accurate tab is so that you can learn the song. But I would argue the reason I'm giving you that accurate tab is so that you can become a better player. In terms of learning the song, especially one like this, you don't want to do it exactly how he's doing it. And trying to follow that tab is going to be 10 times harder. And I don't even think it will be any better than you just kind of trusting your intuition. Now, of course, you already have to have some experience with this finger picking stuff, but I'll show you what I mean by all that. We'll put it into real practice here. Step 1, listen to the song a lot. Get very familiar with the song and strum along with it. So we're just going to do all down strums to make sure we know the vocal phrasing and that we know when the chords are changing. So do this on your own. Also do it with the recording. And don't overdo it. Just keep it really simple until you kind of have an intuition for exactly when the chord is changing and that the melody is really secure with you doing these downbeats. Water Street is just the same. Honey, come back to me. You see it's lonely and gray in the city. And go through the song like that several times until that is easy. If that's not easy, you're going to have a lot of trouble finger picking it and trying to do it. The next step would be to go through it in a similar fashion, but trying different things. And you should try like a half a dozen different things. One might be just doing the thumb. And I'm just alternating the thumb back and forth between 2 strings. Water Street is just the same. Oh, honey, come back to me. You see, it's lonely and gray in the city. I know I'm changing his melody. Next step might be one little pointer finger. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Can I sing the whole thing like that? Then maybe it's that Travis picked idea we see a lot that picks up in the 2nd stanza, where I'm doing thumb, middle, thumb, pointer. Let's try that. Water Street is just the same. Oh, honey, come back to me. You see, it's lonely and gray in the city. How does he do that part? Maybe I add a little bit of something, and that would be the next step. Keeping the pattern simple, and only when there are lyrical breaks do you try to add a little bit of the color in there. And this is how I would build on it. The more you sing it simple, the better you're going to get, right? Because 90% of the listener's attention is on your voice. So even if you have a really basic pattern, you're doing the whole song, whatever, that sounds really cool already with the changing chords, that to put all this effort into sweating about the little particulars in the tab isn't going to do you any good at all, right? We learn the tab to learn skills, and we want those to become good enough to put in our toolbox, not to just be able to replicate this one moment in this exact song. I hope that makes sense. I'll make another video on that whole concept of like owning something, which means if there's a particularly difficult passage somewhere in the song, you should immediately start practicing it over different chords and in different contexts and try to be creative with it. And that's how you own something, right? I don't want you to just learn all these measures. I'd rather have you like own 4 of them, so that in that particular measure, you've learned something that you can now apply to every finger picking song. And that's what we're after. We're after developing our toolbox so that anytime I see a C or an E minor, I could do, or I could do, there's so many different ways because I have all these finger picking things under my belt that I could color that in 1,000 different ways. And when I'm singing, I'm literally trusting, my skill that my right hand's gonna at least play something kind of cool while I'm focusing on singing. And that's what we're after, developing that color palette, not always mimicking the tab because you'll drive yourself nuts. This is a long tab. He's doing it different all the time. There's no way you're going to memorize all of it. Don't try and do it. It's a fool's errand. And the approach I'm giving you, I'm telling you, is going to be so much more fruitful, not only for getting the song complete and sounding good, but for finding your voice and your kind of creative talent in the process as well. Slow run. Let's just do the intro before we start singing. Measure 1 through 16. 1, 2, 3, 4. Start of the verse. Slow runs. Let's do the first bit of the verse because it's pretty darn long. Let's take it from 17 and just go to the end of the second page on 48 or whatever it is here. So from 17, 3, 4. probably missed some of the nuance in there too, but you get the idea. Let's keep going with the verse. Slow run, now that we had a chance to scroll. I know not everyone's printing these things out, myself included. I need to print this still. From 49. And we'll just go to the coda. 3, 4, sorry. Hold it. Lift it. Put it back down. 3rd fret. Yep. And then that whole verse would loop. All right, let's finish up the verse here. We'll go from 65 all the way to the end of it, which is 82. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Sounds so cool. Wrong note. Really hypnotizing, huh? And finally, slow run of the coda. We're in measure 84. 2, 3, 4.